Page 116. Reading. Reading comprehension. Exercises for practice. Here are a few passages for you to practice your comprehension skills. Task 8. Read this passage and answer the questions that follow. Google self-driving car is a project by the technology company Google. The project involves the development of technology for driverless electric cars. The car uses software called Google Chauffeur and is fitted with sensors through which everything around the car can be seen. As a result, the software can make a quick search about every aspect of driving. Further, the system works with a very high definition and high precision map of the area. This map includes even minute details like the height of the traffic lights. In fact, Sebastian, the lead engineer for the project, calls it a perfect driving mechanism. Statistics show that many car accidents happen due to human error. Google Chauffeur minimizes the possibility of human error, thereby reducing the rate of car accidents. In addition to this, several human factors are involved in the process of driving, like staying in the lane, maintaining the right body position, anticipating the traffic, etc. A driverless car would reduce our dependence on such things in addition to saving fuel. The prototype of this car was first unveiled on 22nd December 2014. And the first cars were rolled out in 2017. Question 1. What does the Google self-driving car project involve? It involves the development of technology for driverless electric cars. I repeat, it involved the development of technology for driverless electric cars. Question 2. What is Google Chauffeur? It is a software used by Google self-driving car. I repeat, it is a software used by the Google self-driving car. Number 3. Why does Sebastian describe Google Chauffeur as a perfect driving mechanism? He calls it that because it can do a lot of things. It can make a quick search about every aspect of driving. It works with a very high definition and high precision map of the area, and it has a map. This map includes even minute details like the height of the traffic lights. Okay. 4. What are the human factors involved in driving? Human factors involved in driving this car are staying in the lane, maintaining the right body position, anticipating the traffic, etc. Number 5. Find a word in the passage which means the same as the following. The first or a preliminary version of a device or a vehicle from which other forms are developed. Prototype. Task 9. Read this passage and answer the questions that follow. Page 117. Task 9. Read this passage and answer the questions that follow. The word clone has Greek origins. It is derived from the Greek word klon, which refers to the technique of producing new plants using the twigs or buds of existing plants. The word clone was used primarily for agricultural purposes. However, the term acquired an additional meaning when science fiction writer Aldous Huxley referred to a similar process in his famous book, A Brave New World, wherein human embryos were split to produce human clones in large numbers. The process of duplicating DNA to create exact copies of animals and humans caught people's imagination. The noted geneticist and popular science writer J.B.S. Haldane is credited with using the word clone to describe the possibility of creating exact copies of human beings. Interestingly, his speech given in 1963 was titled Biological Possibilities for the Human Species of the Next 10,000 Years. Today, the term is used to refer to the process of producing genetically identical individuals. Widely used for selective assisted breeding, cloning involves processes which isolate and create copies of DNA fragments. These are used to create an exact genetic copy of an animal from a single cell. It has been used to create copies of sheep, cows, and cats. Question 1. What does the Greek word clone mean? It is the technique of producing new plants using the twigs or buds of existing plants. Question 2. List out any 2 details about J.B.S. Haldane. He was a noted geneticist and popular science writer, and he is credited with using the word clone to describe the possibility of creating exact copies of human beings. Question 3. What was the title of the speech given by Haldane in 1963? It was Biological Possibilities for the Human Species of the Next 10,000 Years. Question 4. For which purpose is cloning widely being used today? It is used for selective assisted breeding. 5. Find a word in the passage which means the same as the following, similar in every detail. Page 118. Let's look at the answer to the 5th question of task 9. And the word is exact. Task 10. Read this passage and take the correct option to answer the questions that follow. Now, you please read it on your own, and then I will give you the answers. Number 1. The given passage is B, a gadget review by a user. 2. In the first paragraph, the writer, A, explains briefly the utility of the Chromecast. 3. In the second paragraph, the writer, A, explains in detail why he or she bought the Chromecast, the advantages of Chromecast. 4. In the second paragraph, the writer gives an example of both A and B. 5. In the second paragraph, the writer, B, explains how Chromecast is more useful than other similar streaming gadgets. Task 11. Read the passage and then we will discuss the answers. Question 1. What is the connection drawn between the publishing of the first superhero stories and the Great Depression? America and the rest of the world were reeling under an economic depression. People were surrounded by unemployment, poverty, suffering, and a failing free market economy. They needed heroes who could pull them out of this morass. Hence, superhero stories. 2. What are the two scientific and technological breakthroughs of the 20th century that are mentioned here? Albert Einstein and his revolutionary perspective on the nature of the universe, and the pioneering activities of the first airmen and women. 3. Give the meanings of the terms utopian and pseudoscientific. Utopian means related to impractical or unrealistic perfection. Pseudoscientific means not based on science. 4. Name the two superheroes mentioned in this passage: Superman and Peter Parker, that is Spider-Man. 5. What made the superheroes more realistic and believable to their audience? They were to some extent grounded in science.